Charli D'Amelio is misunderstood. Here's why. Hey everyone and welcome back to Top TikTok. Even she seems to be having some secrets that no one knows about. Today we have for you a list of 10 things no one understands about Charli D'Amelio. Today we're going to be talking about why Charli D'Amelio is misunderstood. Rising to fame does not happen every day, but if it happens, make sure you make the most out of it. It's an opportunity one of our favorite TikTokers Charli clearly made and is making a name for herself while all the cameras are still looking for her, but clearly we don't get to see it all. When Charli is not shooting TikToks or doing voiceovers making her silver screen debut, she is definitely up to something, right? To begin with, before her famous Cohn struck on TikTok, Charli was not a famous person, but she was definitely a star in the making. Many people actually still might wonder, why or how did she ever get that famous from just a dance video? Worry not, even Charli herself is still awed at how her content blew up. And she became the TikTok dancing queen. Dancing queen, young and free from the family, number 10. She wasn't famous before TikTok. Starting us off unlike other celebs, Charli does not have a superstar persona that she adopts in her real life as well. She was always a very shy girl who never stayed in the highlights. She goes to a private school in Connecticut and no, she's no superstar there. In fact, she never intended to become famous in the first place, let alone make a place on the list of internet royalty. She was always more quiet and subdued in comparison to her sister, who has a more strong personality. Charli has herself revealed later in an interview at Entertainment Weekly that she never thought she would one day have so many people around the globe follow the dance moves she makes in her own room. Number 9. She was bullied growing up. Next on the list, Charli D'Amelio might seem odd and snooty at times, but it is not because she's full of herself or she has a snobbish celeb attitude. It's because, like so many other people her age, Charli was bullied growing up. She has confessed that she has had a hard time being comfortable in her own skin. In elementary school, people made fun of her eating habits and she had a really tough time. So before you assume that she's full of herself, just stop to think for a moment and think that she's really giving her own self some time and effort. Number 8. She's not afraid to be herself. Charli, pretty young herself at just 16 years of age, personally thinks that the reason she has so many fans and people of the same age group who look up to her is because she's very genuine and honest as a person. Sure, there are millions of views on the videos that she makes of her dancing, but other than those, she posts normal stuff like how her day went and what she is currently working on. Like most other teens, she also enjoys regular snack foods, like iced tea and donuts, as is apparent from the videos she posts of herself. People who resent her just don't seem to acknowledge the fact that she is different from other stars, at least as long as maintaining a perfect image all the time is concerned. She is, in her own words, not afraid to show people what she really is to people. I like it! Well done, Charli! Number 7. Charli does not think of herself as a family brand. Many people have accused Charli of using her family just to show herself off as a trophy member, whereas in reality, she is very close to her family, and they're very tightly knit. Where Charli has been seen to be annoying her family, for instance, an Instagram livestream where she visibly argued with her mother over something as basic as cleaning her room. They don't really prove that they're in a bad place. What the haters don't understand is in these videos where D'Amelio apparently bickered are perfectly normal, amusing even, and nothing to draw serious conclusions from. Seriously, people, it happens! I got a daughter. She doesn't want to clean her room, and I tell her, go clean your room, and she's like, no! I'm like, go clean your room. She's like, no! Go clean your room! Fine! I'm like, thank you. Love you, sweetie. You know what I mean? Seriously. She has even had live streams and interactive sessions with fans where her family members have joined in. Her sister is also a TikTok artist and they shared a screen. In fact, Heidi D'Amelio, Charli's mother, has even stated how proud she is of her little daughter who has achieved so much at a young age. Charli has even said that she actually looks to her parents for support, and it's quite evident that they do help her daughter a lot. Would you call that a family that isn't close? I think honestly a lot of people are jealous, they're like, man, I want that, so I'm just gonna throw some crap at her. Number 6. Making dance routines for her friends. Believe it or not, Charli D'Amelio might be the most popular artist on TikTok, but she didn't even have an account there to begin with. She used to make dance routines for her friends, who had their own accounts in the app, but she never had her own. Can you imagine that a girl as talented as her did not prefer the limelight and stayed in the shadows? It took a long time for her friends and sister to post her own content. Later, she has often talked about how shy she was of herself and how she thought people wouldn't like what she had to offer. Well, she has been proven very wrong, as she practically transformed into an internet celebrity within a very short time span. Like overnight. Who would have thought, right? Charli herself didn't think so. But that didn't stop her success. If only people would stop giving her a hard time. We love you, Charli. Just ignore the haters. Ignore them. Number 5. Charli loves her fans. Taking us off to the second half, although the first meet and greet Charli had with the fans stirred up some controversies because she charged a whopping $100, woo! There's some money in the bank right there, for each person's ticket just to see her. The event was a great one. It went pretty smoothly as she met and interacted with all her fans, signed her autographs, asked the people how they were, and even performed a few dance steps with eager fans, and it has been like that ever since. It's no secret now that she absolutely adores so many people who follow her from around the world. Number 4, she's not really competing against anyone. It's not a competition. It might seem that Charli is in a competition with other TikTok artists, whereas in reality, this concept is totally fiction and made up by fans. Most famous videos compilations have been published on TikTok, and this is completely opposite of what Charli and her fellow TikTok stars are doing. Take Lauren Gray, for example. She has clearly stated that she does not think of Charli as a competitor, but thinks of her as a sweet young girl who's actually very talented and has a long way to go. Another artist who Charli is constantly compared with is Addison Rae, who in real life is such good friends with both Charli and Dixie that the three of them are practically sisters. Addison is very close to the D'Amelio family, and she and Charli have even done YouTube videos together. The fans who encourage this kind of competition don't seem to understand that this puts tons of pressure on their favorite stars. However, Charli and Addison are pretty close friends, and no matter what haters say, they don't seem to be going against one another. Hope it stays that way. Number 3, she has had years of professional dance training. A lot of people seem to think that Charli had become an internet sensation with no practical talent. What they don't know is that she has had more than 10 years of training in dance, and not just the training. She has showcased her talent on numerous occasions and actually won prizes. She was even declared the winner of regional dance contests in Connecticut, her hometown. Not just that, if you check her Instagram, you'll find pictures of her with prizes from different competitions over the years. She's even been noticed by global pop artists like Jennifer Lopez and Bebe Rexha. The latter was so impressed by the teenage talent that she personally called her up and asked her to perform in her dance group. She has also performed with J-Lo, so haters might keep saying that all that they want. Charli is a star in her own accord, and she has risen to fame because she is talented and hardworking. Number 2, Charli's fans love her. Darn right we do! You go, Charli! Woo! No matter how strongly the haters antagonize Charli or try to drag her down through the dirt, but they will fail, she doesn't have to worry about it much, because there are millions and millions of her fans who will support her through the thick and thin. And this has been proven over and over again. Whenever there has been any controversy related to Charli, whether it be the issue with the TikTok star, Jacob Sartorius, or her public breakup with now ex-boyfriend Chase Hudson, or her alleged public argument with friend and fellow artist Addison Rae in a parking lot, her dedicated fans have always had her back, so it's no surprise really that Charli really loves her fans, even if some people don't understand her. Number 1, she struggles with online hate. Initially, Charli's older sister Dixie had an account in TikTok before Charli did, and she seemed to be doing pretty well in it. However, when Charli joined in, she had been at the receiving end of some pretty nasty comments. Later, when she became a complete celebrity and her fame increased, so did the hate. People didn't even leave her sister out of the mess. They'd received some pretty mean and hurtful comments as reactions that included them showing too much bone and being ugly. Charli said that she was even personally told that she had an ugly face and her body had a weird shape, and that she was actually very hurt by these comments. Sometimes you might not like a person or the content they're posting, but these haters seem to even forget the fact that these are very real people with genuine, valid feelings, and saying mean and disrespectful things to them is wrong and incorrect. With a celebrity of her stature, you might think that haters and negative comments do not hurt her. Well, you are definitely wrong. Yes, they might not bother her that much, but some of the comments put out on social media are so hurtful and not only are targeted towards her, but even some of her family members and close friends. Why are people out there so mean? We still wonder. That's all for now. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!